What are some of the best AI stocks in the world, right? Is it necessarily NVDA? Or is it Microsoft? Or is it going to be Google? Which ones are going to be running and taking off and taking over the world, right? Now, Pablo is going to be telling you about a stock that's about 500x smaller than all of these, and yet it is a national champion, right? That nobody's talking about. And there's a very obvious reason why they're trying to hide it from you. So, basically, the stock I'm talking about is actually the best AI stock in Asia, and they want to hide it from you because they just want to pump the US, AI stocks, right? Because, what if, God forbid, what if NVIDIA and Google comes down and the entire NASDAQ would crash? Now, of course, the United States wants to dominate in the new field of AI. So what they have done is basically choke China and all other countries of basically GPUs, right? Those fast calculating, right, GPUs that only NVIDIA has. So basically, China's not getting any of those latest, right, H100s or B100s that the NVIDIA chips, right? So without it, how can their AI sector still survive if they don't have the calculation power? Well, this sort of choking, right, didn't start just right now. In fact, the company I'm talking about survived the last time the United States tried to do a similar choke, right? And that was when this SenseTime company, right, actually had the #1 AI facial recognition software in the world, right? It was better than Facebook. Imagine that. It was better than Facebook. So what the United States did was basically it put a sanction on the stock, SenseTime. One day before it was about to be listed on the NASDAQ, it basically shut it down and banned all United States, US investors from investing in this company, SenseTime. But obviously SenseTime beat those sanctions and it listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and this exchange code is 0020, right? Look it up if you're interested, not financial advice. But then on top of that, with the chip, right, ban export, with the GPU ban, Huawei has also come up with a solution and saved basically companies like SenseTime. So now China is actually soaring with its own AI, and to me, from what I can see, is actually a direct competitor with the AI that's coming out of the United States. But that's not the only opportunity in AI. With so much AI going around, electricity is a major problem. So basically now uranium is going up because people realize they need to be building a lot more nuclear power stations because companies like Microsoft, right, has just restarted the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plants. But there's also a majorly undervalued solar ETF in China, right, on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange that is majorly undervalued, right? It's basically the best solar companies in the world, and the ETF is down. China solar ETF, right? Its stock symbol is 3134 because it's listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And look at its price. It's basically absolutely tanked, right? It's gone from like $13 to like below $4, right? Absolutely getting smashed. But this is the best solar ETF in the world. And why would I say that? Because, well, if you list the top 10 solar companies in the world, right, stocks in the world, but in terms of sales, volume, technological innovation, they'd all be in China right now. Maybe number 11 is a US company called First Solar, right? I do like First Solar and some of their technological breakthroughs or attempts, but that's for a different story. Now, the top 10 are all in China, and pretty much all of them are in this ETF, right? We can get into the ETF as a whole, or we can get into individual components of the ETF itself. So these are some of the AI plays that I've got in mind, both in terms of AI stocks or stocks connected to energy or electricity, which is what AI really needs right now, right? What I'm saying is, broaden your mind. All these AI champions of the future may not actually come from the United States, despite US wanting to stranglehold and choke its competitors on some of these areas, right? So the Magnificent Seven of the next 10 years might actually come from places like China, right? Which is where I am inside right now. I'm visiting, but you never knew this whole time that I was actually here because Western media doesn't show you places like this, right? Fake news. Follow Pablo for more updates, not financial advice, and do your own research.